GC. Welcome. This is my Good Morning Drive where we talk about various subjects, including gaming, movies, politics, sports, or whatever comes to your mind. So let's get started. Um, Good morning to everyone out there. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I hope your mothers had a wonderful, awesome, blessed weekend. And if they're not here with us anymore, may they be looking down upon us. There's a lot of people who don't have a mom anymore. They passed on to the next plane of existence. So bless them. May they rest in peace as well. So good morning to everyone. Dang. Good morning to everyone out there. I hope everybody is going to have a great day. Have a great week. Remember, live your week in positivity. Don't let anything or anyone bring you down, not even yourself. If yourself is trying to bring you down, always reach out for help. Ask for help. Don't be too proud to let people know, hey, I'm not feeling right. I think I might need some help, or I need a hug, or I need someone to talk to. Make sure you do that with the right person, or even tell yourself that. Yeah, you want to always try to keep a positive outlook on life, on your day to day. Find something positive. Doesn't matter what it is, find something positive. When you look at things more positively, when you see more positive things in your life just becomes more positive. That's just how it goes. No matter how bad the situation is, that's just what I believe. So hopefully everyone can hear me out there. Oh, turn that off. Turn that off. Yeah, hopefully everyone can hear me out there, and everything is not awry on my Good Morning Live. This is episode 65. We got a lot of content to talk about today. We're going to talk about my Knicks. We're going to talk about some weird hating gamers that it just seems they follow certain projects around here and there. We're going to talk about Grand Theft Auto being delayed. And if I have enough time, I'm going to talk about this new boxing game yet again, because I haven't gotten the chance to make a real video on this boxing game. And, I saw a video and I thought it was pretty cool. So we'll talk about that if I have enough time. But yeah, again, good morning to everyone out there. So first, let's talk about these hating gamers, right? And it's just weird that these type of gamers came from Maximum Football, and now they're seemingly on ESG, and they infiltrated ESG because ESG gaming, they're trying to be very, they're trying to build an infrastructure around NDAs, which you should, and you got to follow rules, you got to read up, you got to do all these things just to play the closed beta, which that's exactly how it should be. Thank you for the like. I appreciate you. Thank you for my viewership. The two people that came in, thank you guys. Yeah, so you would think that they would have weeded out some of these infiltrators, I want to call them. No, they didn't. So the reason why I call them infiltrators is because I've been around gamers in the closed beta who expressed certain things that they didn't like about the game. One thing that they did not like, one thing that they didn't express that they didn't like about the game is when it's coming out, which is odd, right? So ESG is coming out this year for sure. Thank you for the viewership. All of a sudden, I got 16 people in here. Please, guys, if you come in, I much appreciate it. I definitely love the support. Just a little bit more support would be great if I could get, some likes and share the content. Subscribe if it's the first time to the channel. Hit the notification bell on all. Your boy is going to have a busy week this week, just like last week and the week before. Your boy's beginning in. Kango, what's going on, man? Good morning to you. Thank you for the comment and the interaction. Good morning. I appreciate it. So yeah, so these type of gamers, they're expressing, oh, ESG needs to drop right now, release it right now, which makes absolutely no sense. They're saying that they're gonna lose a release window, which is weird. They and you know this is the weirdest thing, right? This is the weirdest thing. They said the same thing about Maximum Football. Release it, don't delay, release it. You're gonna lose a release window. Release, release, release. Maximum Football delayed, had 2 delays, and it still wasn't enough time to get everything, the game itself. Because when it was released in early access only on PC, thank God, but it wasn't exactly the full customization football universe that we all wanted and was promised. They're going to get to that. It's going to take them time. Game development takes time. So it's really interesting that these gamers would ask exactly for that. They're not asking for more physics in a game. They're not asking for X, Y, and Z, right? Um, you know, like gameplay mechanics. They're saying release the game now or else. Or else what, right? So it's interesting that these guys, you know, both Maximum Football and now ESG are saying that. ESG Football. Just this weekend, it was another tournament for ESG Football. I could not play any ESG Football this week, unfortunately, because I was just too busy, and I know that I just knew I wasn't going to be the type of gamer I wanted to be with a team playing tournament for the third tournament. So you know, my schedule is very messed up. You know, and I apologize to the developers. I apologize to the game itself. You know, like it would have been a waste of time drafting me knowing that I wasn't going to be able to play really at all. And if I was going to play, it was going to be late at night. And I know for a fact from the last time, you know, that I squeezed in for that first tournament or second tournament, I think it was the first tournament, that I just, you know, I wouldn't be able to do that again. So, you know, I live a very busy life. But anyway, so that was that. And it's just odd to me that these types of gamers had hit Maximum Football and now are on ESG Football or ESG Elite Sports Gaming Football. Yeah, so it's just odd. It's just odd. The reason why I'm saying it's odd is because I just think they're paid trolls trying to sabotage Maximum Football and ESG. And I'm not going to say by who. Allegedly, it's probably by a big company. Who knows? But it's just really odd. And I think the same thing happened with Backbreaker. The same thing happened with All Pro Football. You know, it's just really weird. But enough on that. You know, I'm speculating here. There's nothing wrong with sharing an opinion after you've been around for so long. You got, you know, a knowledgeable view on things. So that's just me. Let's talk about my Knicks. Switching gears. Knicks was up 2-0 versus the Boston Celtics. They come to New York, lay a stinker, as I knew they would. You know, that was definitely going to happen. Because there's no reason why the Knicks should be up 2-0 on the Boston Celtics. I can't believe that the Knicks were up 2-0. Now we're up 2-1. And will the Knicks handle some business at home? If we could get just one game in New York, we might actually win this series. And if we win this series, I believe we're going to go to the NBA Finals, probably versus the OKC Thunder. Yeah. I think so. So we got to get past the Boston Celtics, but you know we got to man up. You know, Cat, I understand. Karl Anthony Towns got either a broken finger or something, but he got to man up. You got to man up. He got to put his back to the basket, get in that low post, use his strength, and get the mismatch and score in the paint, get some easy bucks. Get some easy buckets. You know what I mean? Jalen Brunson and the rest of the crew got to do their thing. But we came into the Garden real flat, and I just knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Boston hit their shots that they normally do hit. And I'm like, God dang, there's no point even watching the rest of this game, but I watched. And yeah, it was a massacre. It was a beatdown. Honestly, I was expecting the whole series to go like this. I'm very proud of my Knicks for winning 2 games. So we gotta muster up. We gotta win at least one game. If we win one game, we might be able to win the series in 7 games. Come on now, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen, y'all. Go New York, go New York. I'm a Knicks fan and I'm a Giants fan. You know what I mean? So I'm ready for it. Boston is a better team. I ain't gonna lie. Boston is a better team. Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson, uh, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, the 2 J's. They are a handful. And then you got Al Horford. Then you got Porzingis, ex-Nick, and you got Drew Holiday. I mean, they got some ballers. They got people who can play defense and score and shoot threes. So yeah, it's a tough matchup for any team. And the fact that we won 2 games, I'm happy about that. You know. But yeah, so we're just gonna move on to Grand Theft Auto being delayed. Grand Theft Auto 6 being delayed. Yeah, that sucks. Um, that trailer that they dropped was amazing, outright amazing. Shit, looked better than CG. But it was rendered in game, meaning they're using their in-game engine to render the that gameplay trailer. But here's what I'm about to say though. I need to see some damn gameplay. Where's the gameplay? Yeah, it's in-game gameplay, whatever, but I want to see actual gameplay of Call of Duty. Where is it? I understand that it's going to be delayed, but they could show a little something on gameplay. They don't have to. They don't have to show complete gameplay. Just something, you know. Just 2 minutes of gameplay within a trailer. Something. You don't even have to give me a hood. You know, you could just show some gameplay, something. I'm worried that the cutscenes are so beautiful, so groundbreaking in-game engine graphics that once we see the gameplay, people are actually going to be um, disappointed. You know, so I'm not worried about the pockets of Take Two Interactive, Rockstar, right? They're gonna make their money, but I'm just saying, the 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 cutscenes are so remarkable. How can the gameplay keep up to that? I don't think it will. I think it's going to be a considerable downgrade from those cutscenes to the gameplay. I'm seeing really beautiful games, but they don't look as good as them Grand Theft Auto trailers and footage, in-game engine footage, I should say. So, like, did 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 Rockstar figure out a way to triple the power of these systems, of the Xbox and PlayStation? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, salute to those trailers though. They look crazy good. The amount of detail that's in the graphics. I mean, you had bubbles in beer. You had liquid in bottles that were realistically forming and moving. Some really high tech stuff. You had crazy water physics and graphics and effects. You had muscle tensing. You had hair, like fine detail hair, and how the light bounces off the hair and all that. Body hair, head hair, facial hair. The animations, the cloth physics. I could go on. Um, I could go on. Hair physics. The um, Grand Theft Auto cutscenes are remarkable. I've never seen graphics that look that good. Best looking graphics I've ever seen with the amount of detail. But is the gameplay going to actually look anywhere near there? I don't think so. I don't know. I really don't think so. We'll see. We'll see. But hopefully we get some gameplay soon so we can see it. I'm not asking for the game to be released like them hater gamers that I spoke about at the beginning of the segment. But yeah. So let's move on to this new boxing game that's going to be coming out. And if you heard me on my live, I'm basically going to repeat what I said until I make an actual video on it. Because I need to make a video. I need to do major research into this company and see if it's not that it's possible, but, you know, what's more likely. Because game developers, you know, they went to college, they went to school, they got the training to be a game developer, plus the experience to work on these games. So they know how to make games. It could be any game. They are capable of making any game that their hearts desire. I'm just looking at what's more likely for them to make. So if you don't know, Turkey Al-Sheikh is trying to revitalize boxing here in the States and globally, funding it with his own money because he's a quadruple billionaire, probably trillionaire. His money goes so long you probably can't even count it. And he's funding a lot of boxing events. He's funding games such as Undisputed, and he's showcasing in his last fight card, Fatal Fury, where he had boxers, you know, fight off or whatever. They were trying to set up a Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney rematch. That probably won't happen because Ryan Garcia, coming off a suspension, not a layoff, a suspension for using performance enhancing drugs during the Devin Haney fight. That's why Devin Haney got knocked down 3 times. But he got up, showed the heart of a true warrior, finished the fight on his feet. And some people saying he actually won the fight despite getting knocked down 3 times, because it was only when he got knocked down 3 times is when Ryan Garcia did anything of any sort, and he was getting outboxed like crazy, even though Devin Haney fought the complete wrong fight. So yeah, with that being said, Turkey Al-Sheikh, you know, showcased Fatal Fury, which is a fighting game within his fight card. Now we hear that he's funding a AAA boxing game made by Japanese developer DIMPS. DIMPS. Again, I've done quick research on, and I saw all the types of games that they make, and just from all the games they make, they haven't released any gameplay footage or anything like that. They have to create everything. And if they're creating everything from scratch, it's going to take a long time for us to see any gameplay. That's just how long video games take to make nowadays, unless they were working on this game for a long time now. If they're working on this game for a long time now, they're going to show us something. Because I believe DIMPS is a pretty big studio. If it's a really big studio, then, you know, I would say 4 years minimum that it would take to get this game done if it's a simulation, bleeding edge technology type of game. I happen to believe that it's going to be a arcade boxing game, fighting game, because we've never had that before. We've never had an arcade boxing game before that's like Street Fighter. And if we never had that game before, we get the fighting guys, the fighting game, fighting community into the game for boxers. I mean, about boxers with no licensed boxers, then it might actually be a little something. It could be pretty cool. I think it could be an awesome type of game. But shout out to Boxing Fanatico. He showcased this one particular game that, you know what, we haven't had a game like that in a long ass time. We haven't had a boxing game like that in a long time. Which was, it had no licensed fighters, but you could literally go through the life of a boxer, going through the training regimens, going through all everything, all the preparation. It was a a real simulation, not a simulation like basketball, football game, baseball game. No, it was like a deep simulation game of a boxing career, right? We haven't had one of those games, and Japanese developers are known for games like that. So I could see that. He convinced me. I could see that actually happening. And I totally forgot about those types of games. Japanese developers have made games about a simulation game about a jockey riding horses, right? Because horse racing is really popular in Japan. But who would make a game like that besides, Japanese culture, who have great passion in whatever careers that they go on to. So I could see Dimps making a game like that, or another Japanese developer. It's just that they haven't made a game like that. So they would have to build the infrastructure around that to make a game like that. I know that because Nintendo had to do the same thing. Nintendo didn't make high definition games, and they had to build infrastructure around that. So that's why we're seeing with the Switch 2, them finally having a full infrastructure of HD, high definition, deep development games. And we're seeing that. Not that they weren't capable of it before, but they didn't have all the artists. They didn't have all of the voice acting. They didn't have all of the high res textures. They just started really running with that with the Switch. And now the Switch 2 is literally, now they're coasting on HD games and high budget games. We're seeing that now. So we'll see what happens. I think no matter what, it's going to be a good thing. And if you're a boxing fan, if you're a simulation gamer, you should definitely support it. But that's going to be my show. I got to take my late ass into work. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for coming through. Let's have some more interactions. And for the next one, and that's it. I'm going to end it right here. You guys have a great day. Stay blessed. Remember, stay positive in everything that you do. Make sure you find a positive in your day. All right. It's my Good Morning Drive. You guys have a good one. Talk to y'all later. I got all types of content coming at you, so make sure you check it out. We out of here. Peace. Yeah.